This is garlic.
Yes.
These are braids.
Mm-hmm.
And this is garlic that I harvested.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the best way to keep your garlic is hanging it up.
Mm.
The garlic, I store it unclean and then I clean it up. When I clean it up, I cut the roots and then peel about 2 layers of paper off of it. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, garlic, the best way to store your garlic is either hung up in a mesh bag, cleaned up, okay.
Clean in and hang in a mesh bag.
Cleaned up in a mesh bag, or in a box that you have a lot of airflow,
right.
or hanging it up.
Or hanging up like that.
But
Airflow, yeah.
it's not a good idea to hang it up in your kitchen, because in your kitchen it's very humid because you have water and steam, etc., etc. So the best place, if you want to keep your braid for the winter, you put it in your shed, your garage, or an unheated room.
Right.
That doesn't have moisture. And it can keep like this till March.
Right.
Okay. Now we're going to go see where I store mine
Okay.
and how I store mine.
All right.
This is my garlic
Wow.
that I'm storing for the winter. Now, as the winter gets colder, it will go towards the back of the potting shed. This is an unheated area. Here I also have onions right now.
Right.
But when the onions are ready for storage, they will be stored in an unheated room. Onions can't freeze. Garlic can freeze. In theory, you're not supposed to have them in the light. But because there's only half a roof,
Right.
so it only has partial light, it works well here. And I can store them in here till March.
Would you tell me about the curing? And
Okay,
the
garlic,
difference?
when you harvest it, you have to cure it for about 14 days. These are all cured. The paper here is all dry. Okay? And the stem, because it's hard-neck garlic, the stem is all dry. So that's how you tell if it's all cured, when the stem is all dry. And the garlic for planting, for replanting, you never take the roots off. You did you?
I did.
Well, you're not
But,
supposed to. So the
Oh.
garlic, this is my garlic for eating here. Okay?
Yeah.
My garlic for planting is stored in a separate place because I don't want anyone to accidentally eat my good garlic for my seeds. And I always keep the roots on here till I'm ready to sell it because it actually increases the shelf life.
Oh.
Because the roots are the old roots are still on, it reduces the new roots from forming.
Okay.
If you take the roots off,
Yeah.
they will sprout earlier in the spring.
Oh my! I didn't know.
And see, when we plant garlic, we take it all apart, right? And we plant clove per clove,
Right.
so they no longer have the roots. So that's the stimulation that they need. I need to make more roots. With your seed garlic, you know, you store it for about a couple of months. You're eating garlic, you want to store it, you want it to last all winter.
Yeah.
And if you find that your garlic is starting to go bad, that's when you process it. And the simplest way to process it is you peel it all up and grind it up in olive oil. And then it can stay about 6 months in the fridge.
I just throw in the freezer. I peel and just throw in the freezer.
Okay. And garlic, I learned this year, the best way to eat garlic to get the most antioxidants that you can is you have to crush it or chop it, and you let it sit for about 2 minutes before you use it.
Huh, that's interesting.
The oxidization as the chopping makes it hit the air the enzymes in the garlic actually work better
Wow.
than if you took a whole garlic.
I usually crush, but that's what I learned from authentic Chinese people when they cook. They
Yeah,
crush it.
you crush it with your knife. Usually, that's the chef way of doing it.
Oh,
And
okay, yeah.
if you crush it with your knife, then it's easy to peel.
Right.
Right?
Oh, right, yes. That's another one.
So if you crush it, I usually crush it with the blade of my knife
Yeah.
and then chop it up.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then that's easy to peel.
And even it's good for you.
It is good for you. Yes.
Just leave for 2 minutes.
Just leave it for 2 minutes. So
Okay, so seed garlic.
yes.
Okay. That's bigger.
And you always save your best of the best for your seed. Okay, and this is how I store it.
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean just garlic, but whichever crop, the best of the best for the seeds, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And they're all identified with a little tag.
How many different varieties do you have?
I have German hardneck, music, and Roja this year.
Let's see.
And this is a trick that I learned from that famous farmer guy in Quebec.
Okay. Oh!
When you want to tear them apart, you bang them on,
Huh.
and they come apart easier. And when you're planting your garlic, plant one bulb.
Right. The pointy part up, right?
The pointy part up. And see, you want your best and your cleanest bulb. Some farmers actually will peel the skin off,
Oh.
but I usually don't bother.
That's a lot of work if you peel every...
If you have had problems with diseases,
Okay.
you peel it. If you don't have problems with diseases, you can plant it that way.
Oh, okay. I see.
When you peel it, you can tell
Right.
if you've had diseases
Clean or not, yeah.
right? So this one looks like a German hardneck.
Okay.
This fall, we will be planting most of these. And that was German hardneck, if I can tell. When they're dry, they're hard to tell. This one here is a red Russian, but I don't have lots of seeds to sell.
Okay.
Okay, and then this one here is the Roja.
Roja.
Yeah. And this one is a little smaller. The skin is redder, but it's also stronger. Like the clove is a little smaller,
Yeah.
but they're a little stronger.
The flavor, you mean?
The flavor.
Yeah.
The garlic you get from China is 98% music, the variety music.
Is it? Okay.
The
didn't know
German
that.
hardneck,
Yeah.
why I grow that one is the one that's tough as nails. And it was actually developed in Maine. Somebody had brought some varieties.
Okay.
And the red Russian, it's the same thing. It's a Russian variety
Right.
that can grow in the cold.
Hard.
And it's as tough as nails. Very disease resistant. Right.
Yeah.
The music is the workhorse of the garlics.
Okay.
You can guarantee crop. But when you're looking for nuances and flavors, the Roja and the Red Russian are my favorite because they're a little stronger.
Okay.